Hello everyone. Real quick, these are the results of our survey from the warm-up that we did this morning. Just kind of asking people if they would prefer to have the quiz in Google Forms or Edpuzzle. The majority of people said they would prefer to have Google Forms. So what I'm going to do is I will take pictures of different chemical equations that are balanced and unbalanced, and I'll post those pictures into a Google form. That way you'll still be able to tell if they are a subscript or a coefficient, which I think is what our Edpuzzle people were looking for. So hopefully by using Google Forms, everyone will be happy. If you're really upset about that, let me know and we can find some kind of compromise there. Cool. Today's target is to demonstrate mastery of balancing chemical equations. What is mastery? For me, mastery is basically saying you can do and understand the process, right? I can give you a unbalanced equation and you can follow the steps to balance it. You may make mistakes along the way, okay? Everyone makes mistakes, myself included. You should not feel bad about it. Even if I did a bunch of different chemical equation balancing problems, I might make one or two mistakes. So if you make a mistake today or during the quiz, it's really not a big deal. As long as you understand the process, that's what we're looking for. I'm going to be throwing a lot of different problems at you guys today of varying levels of difficulty. If you still don't feel like you have hit this target by the time we've finished going over the problems in this video, there is an extra study guide with some practice problems and an answer key with that study guide that I'll also post on Google Classroom. That is additional practice. That's only if you feel you need it in order to hit today's target, in order to feel prepared for the quiz tomorrow. Cool. Let's get started. All right. I am going to be talking a little bit faster in this video today than I have in some of my videos in the past, just because I want to, respect your guys' time. We've spent a lot of time going over these problems, and so I think you guys are starting to get it. But if you need it to go slower, then just check out my YouTube channel and you can watch it at like half speed or 3/4 speed. You can also just stop the video if you just want to watch it in Edpuzzle too. That works just as well. Okay, first equation. So number one, Fe plus water yields Fe3O4 plus hydrogen gas. Cool. All right, don't forget to make your element bank. Take a little bit of time, write down this unbalanced equation, write in the element bank, write in the elements, count the number of atoms you have on each side, and then balance this particular problem. Good luck. All right, now that you've had a little bit of time to go over this problem, let's see if you did it correctly. Real quick, we've got 1 iron atom, 2 hydrogen atoms, and 1 oxygen atom. We've got 3 iron atoms, 4 oxygen atoms, and 2 hydrogen atoms. Cool. All right, so let's balance our iron. Iron's in one place on both sides. It's the very first one, so let's start with iron. Got 3 iron over here. We need 3 iron on this side as well. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Iron's balanced. Nice. Okay. Hydrogen is already balanced. Great. What about oxygen? Well, 4 oxygen, 1 oxygen. The only way we're going to get 4 oxygen on our reactant side is by having 4 water molecules. And since each water molecule has 1, we'll have a total of 4. We do need to remember that we've also got some hydrogen there, which means that our hydrogen isn't balanced anymore. Okay, so let's go to our product side. Let's get the hydrogen balanced. If we start with 2 and we go get 2 more, that's 4, 6, and 8 hydrogen. All right. First problem is balanced. We just need to add in the coefficients. So we've got 3 iron. We'll put a 3 in front of it. We've got 4H2O, put a 4 in front of it, and 4H2, put a 4 in front of it. Nice. We don't need to put anything in front of F3O4 because there's only one, and ones are just kind of assumed to be there in chemistry, just like in math class. We're going to clean up the board just a little bit to make it look nice, just so that we can see it more clearly. There's less this kind of stuff going around. There. And we've got ourselves a balanced chemical equation. All right, let's move into our next problem. All right, next one, we've got C3, whoops, that's okay, C3H8 plus O2 yields CO2 plus H2O. Go ahead, take a little bit of time, try and balance this problem. When you're ready, punch your answer into Edpuzzle and we'll see if it's right. Good luck. So let's see if we have this correct. Let's go over this. All right. So I've got 3 carbon on my reactant side. I'm going to need 3 carbon on my product side. Boom. I do have to remember my oxygen, okay? With these types of problems, with level 2 and 3 problems, it's really easy to just say, oh, there's 6 oxygen. But we have to remember there's one more on the water molecule, so there's a total of 7. Nice. Okay, let's balance the hydrogen next, because it's the next one. So we've got 8 here, so let's get more water molecules on this side. There we go. Cool. And that's 8 and 8. And that does change our number of oxygen. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 oxygen now. So in order to get 10 oxygen on our reactant side, we need more oxygen. You'll notice that I did the oxygen last. That's because oxygen is in multiple places, and so it's easier to balance the rest of the equation and then balance oxygen. All right, let's add in our coefficients. We've got 5 O2, we've got 3 CO2, and we've got 4 H2O. We're going to erase these little extra ones just so that it looks nice and so that we can see it. And it looks professional. An actual equation. There we go. Kind of fix it up a little bit. And second problem, done. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. KCl3. That is a 3. There we go. KCl3 yields KCl plus O2. Cool. All right. Go ahead, see if you can solve this particular equation. Good luck. Now that you've had a little bit of time to go over this problem, let's see if you did it correctly. So we've got 1K on both sides. We've got 1 Cl on both sides. 3 oxygen. 2 oxygen. This is a 1. Sorry. I said, there we go, okay. Ah, darn oxygen. All right, so it can be a little bit frustrating with this particular problem to start off with. because if I add more oxygen to this side, well, now I've got 4 oxygen, but that's not 3, and that's okay, right? When we're balancing a problem, we don't have to get to the answer with the very first step. Don't get frustrated, think through it. We need more oxygen on this side now. The only way we're going to get more oxygen is by adding more KClO3. Okay. And look, now we've got an even number of oxygen. So if I add 1 more, the oxygen is balanced. Okay. Now I just have to balance my K, my potassium, and my Cl. And the nice thing is I can do that with 1 step. Adding 1 more KCl gives me 2K and 2Cl. And there we go. Not too bad, right? It's a little frustrating at first because it's like, oh, if I add more oxygen to this side, it's not balanced. If I add more oxygen to that side, it's not balanced. Because you need to add oxygen to both. All right, so we put in our coefficients. We erase the extras. Or cross them out, whatever floats your boat. Get rid of those little markings. And we have ourselves a balanced chemical equation. Solid. All right, let's move on to the next one. Number 4. Alright. I'm sorry that you guys have to watch me erase things while I'm doing this. The editing app that I use wasn't going to work for this particular video just because of some of the constraints that it has on editing. So sorry that I couldn't crop that out this time. There we go. Squeezed it in. This is K3PO4. In case that's a little difficult to see on the camera. All right, go ahead and try and balance this particular equation, and then we'll go over it. Good luck. All right, now that you guys have had a little bit of time to go over this problem, let's see if you have done it correctly. So this is definitely a solid level 3 problem. We've got oxygen in multiple places. We've got 4 different elements that we're trying to balance. This is tricky. We're getting into much harder territory with this kind of a problem. And that's kind of what I said at the beginning, right? With each problem that we're going to do today, we're going to ramp up the difficulty ever so slightly, trying to make sure we're still hitting that mastery status, even if it's a hard level 3 problem. All right, so let's first off just count off the elements. All right, we've got 3 sodium, we've got 1 sodium, 1 Na. We've got 1P, we've got 1P. Oxygen's tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oxygen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oxygen. 1 hydrogen, 1 hydrogen. Nice, and frankly, this looks like it's pretty close to being balanced. The only thing that's not balanced is our Na. So let's try and balance the Na. We've got to add 2 more NaOHs. And now we've got 3 of those. And we've got 1, 2, 3 plus 4 is 7 oxygen. And we've got 3 hydrogen. Little inconvenient there. Balanced one thing, but I unbalanced 2. And that's okay, right? Sometimes that happens in these problems. You don't always have to, solve the problem in the first step. I think a lot of people struggle with that. They're like, but it's getting worse when I do that. And it's like, no, it's actually getting better. It just looks like it's getting worse. Okay. All right, so we're not going to do our oxygen because that's in multiple places. Let's try and balance the hydrogen. Okay. So if I've got 3 hydrogen on this side and 1 hydrogen on this side, let's add more hydrogen over here. All right. Oh, shoot. I need to have a little spot for my Ks. Here we go. 3 Ks. 3 Ks. Nice. All right. So my potassium, my Ks are balanced, solid. My oxygens, 1, 2, 3, plus 4 is 7. So we've got 7 oxygen there. And hey, look, 1, 2, 3 hydrogen. There you go. Nice. All right. Hydrogens are balanced. Ks are balanced. Oxygens are balanced. Sodium's balanced. And phosphorus is balanced. Nice. I don't know about you, but this is looking like a balanced chemical equation to me. Solid. All right. So last thing that we need to do is we just need to write in our coefficients. We've got 3 KOHs. We've got 3 NaOHs. We can get rid of the extra ones. And we have ourselves a balanced chemical equation. We're going to do one more problem. This one can be a little bit tricky. This one definitely can stump some people over. So we'll take our time and, go over it after you've given it a shot. Some of you might be seeing some similarities between this problem and previous problems, specifically the last one we just did. There's a strong similarity here with the one we just did. In fact, we even see some of the same compounds coming up. That's one of the really nice things about chemistry. While there are an infinite number of compounds in the universe, certain compounds are definitely more common than others. And so once we know how to do one equation, we can see that there are similarities with other equations, similar compounds as the previous problems. We've seen water in a lot of these different compounds. Water is an integral part of nature. It basically has a hand in many, many reactions, particularly in something called organic chemistry, where life is required. But even inorganic chemistry, like this particular problem, and frankly, just about all kinds of different ways. So these compounds, right, they're being used in this particular problem, but they're being used in so many other problems as well. And if you can solve some of them, you can solve all of them, right? I mean, that's just crazy. That just knowing how to do a couple of these problems means you can solve every single chemical equation in the universe. It's pretty cool. All right, take a minute. Try and solve this particular problem. Good luck. Oops. All right. Now that you guys have had a little bit of time to try going over this problem, let's see if you did it correctly. Oxygen is in a lot of places in this one. Fortunately, K, potassium is not. We've only got 1 K here, 3 Ks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 oxygen. Cool. 3 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen. 1 phosphorus, 1 phosphorus. All right, let's balance the Ks. It's the first one on our list. It's only in one place, which means it'll be fairly easy. Adding 2 more KOHs means we'll have 3 Ks. We'll have 1, 2, 3, plus 4 more, right? Can't forget the fact that oxygen is in 2 places in this problem. Oh, so is hydrogen. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you'll notice that Mr. Hemstead actually made a mistake when he started this problem. He said there were 3 hydrogen. There's actually 4. See, remember at the beginning of the video I told you everyone makes mistakes? Mr. Hempstead's no exception, right? All right, so we've got 3, 4, 5, 6 hydrogen. Okay, cool. All right, 6 hydrogen, solid, nice. That's a 1. All right, nice, but the Ks are balanced. Let's not do our hydrogen or our oxygen yet, just because they're going to be a little tricky. Let's look at the phosphorus, because that's only in one place on both sides of our equation. Hey, well, actually, now that we look at it, it's pretty balanced. Okay, so we have to balance our hydrogen and our oxygen. How are we going to do that? We've got 2 equally difficult elements. We've got 2 elements that are in 2 different places on the reactant side. And frankly, it's not going to be that much easier on our product side. But one thing that I can see is I've got 6 hydrogen over here. And the only way I can get more hydrogen on my product side is by adding more water. Okay, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And our oxygen is balanced. That's something that always amazes me about balancing chemical equations. It's all of these numbers and letters, and then you get to the end and you solve it, and it's like, oh my god, it makes so much sense. It worked. Holy bucket! Like what? It's really fun when that happens. I remember when I was actually in 11th grade, and it was like balancing chemical equations started making sense for me. And don't worry if balancing equations doesn't make sense for you right now. We're in online learning. Like, this is a really hard concept. And no matter how many practice problems we go over, sometimes you just need somebody to be there helping you guide through it. So if this isn't making sense, join me for my office hours. Really, that's where it's going to make the biggest difference. Because if I can help you, I can see the mistakes that you personally are making and show you how to fix them. And you will learn literally 5 times as fast as you would on your own. Cool. All right, that concludes our video. I'll see you guys later. Bye.